All right, so today's video is going to be all about cranberries. We are the second week into December, and when I went to town the other day, they had all their cranberries on sale for $1 a bag, and so I bought a bunch of them. And so today I'm just going to be doing a really quick canning cranberry juice video. There's a lot of health benefits to cranberries and cranberries juice. People drink it for UTIs especially, and it's also really high in vitamin C. So I'm gonna go ahead and wash these berries and then put them in a big pot back here, and I'm just gonna fill this pot full of water, and then I'm going to boil these just until they start to pop and break down. So probably about 15 or 20 minutes. That way it gets all the juice out of these berries. And then we're gonna take that juice and we're gonna can that juice. These are doing really good. These are starting to pop. And so we're just gonna keep letting them go till they've all popped. I have my pot here with my jars in it. I'm gonna go ahead and sanitize those while the berries keep cooking down here. All right, so this is going really good. It is boiling. And my spoon that I'm using today was made by Koi. It's perfect for this huge pot. I really like my wood spoons. I'm gonna go ahead and get this set up to drain all of these cranberries out of here. So to drain these out, I just got another pot, and then I just have this fine mesh strainer, and we're just gonna put it right into here. Okay, that's much better. I'm just gonna let all that drain out, and I want to keep this pulp because we're gonna be making the cranberry bacon jam with it. Once this is pretty good drained out, I don't want it all the way. I'm not going to sit here and just completely smash this because I still need a little bit of juice for when I make the cranberry bacon jam, or the chutney, whichever you want to call it. And so we're just going to go ahead and dump this into a bowl I have back here. I'm pretty sure I just made a mess on the table, but that's okay. But it does still have seeds in it from the cranberries, and so now we're going to take, you could either use cheesecloth, but I'm just going to use an old pillowcase and just pour this through an old pillowcase to collect all those little seeds. So we have all that strained out. This was all the berries. I used 14 pounds of berries, and so this is what we have left. I'm gonna keep this till tomorrow because we're gonna be making some cranberry bacon chutney with this. But this huge pot here is all of the juice that I have. This is gonna make a lot of juice, a heck of a lot more juice than I was expecting. At this point, I have not added any kind of sweetener into this. I'm not gonna be using white sugar, I'm gonna be using honey, and so I don't wanna use a ton of honey. And so I am just going to put a little bit of honey in each jar. This little measuring spoon, this little measuring cup I have here is just 2 tablespoons. And so I'm going to put 2 tablespoons into each quart. And on the first quart, I'm gonna mix that up and just taste it a little bit and see how it is. Cranberry juice is very, very tart. Clay and I like that, but my kids don't really like that tartness as much. And so I just want to put enough honey in there to take just kind of like that bite of the tartness out. And so I don't want to add too much, and honey is very expensive. And so I'm just going to scoop some out and then just go from there. And I have got berry wildflower honey. I buy these big things here from Azure Standards. And so we're just gonna scoop some out. And this, I've had this for over a year, so it's getting where it's pretty crystallized, but that's fine, it will melt. So we're just gonna dump it in. Isn't that like the prettiest juice too? Okay, I'm gonna try this. Well, get a spoon here. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and stick with just 2 tablespoons of honey in here. I think that's good. And so if you wanted, you could put some whole cranberries in here. So we'll just dump some of these there, just like that. Okay, we're going to go ahead and do this with all of our jars. And then we're going to wipe the rims off. If you don't wipe the rims off and you have, if you got some honey on there, then your lid might not seal properly and then you would lose that jar. So make sure you wipe your lids off, your rims off really well. And then you're going to take hot sterilized lids, put on. So we're going to go ahead and do that with the whole bunch. I am putting about, for these quart jars here, I am putting about a cup and a quarter of fresh cranberries in there with 2 tablespoons of honey, and then I'm pouring the juice on top and sealing them up. So we will catch you back here once I get all these jars done. All right, so I went on to put those back in the water. We're gonna go ahead and start a water bath. Your water bath time doesn't start until your water starts boiling. And then for my area here, I'm gonna boil those for 35 minutes and then I'll take them out and then just let them cool. All right, our timer just went off. We're gonna go ahead and get this cranberry juice out of the pot here. So these juices are all done. I'll just leave these here until tomorrow just to make sure that they seal properly. It can take up to 24 hours for a jar to seal completely, but these have already started. I've been hearing them pop. If a jar is not sealed, then I'll just stick it in the refrigerator and we'll use it within the next few weeks. And so when you do the juice, you want to just let it sit for 3 weeks, a month to infuse those flavors. If you drink it now, it's not going to be very tart cranberry tasting. It's going to be almost watery, and the longer that sets, the stronger it gets. Now when I did mine here, I combined both of the methods that are out here, and I didn't talk about those methods. One method is you just take your raw cranberries, You put a cup and a half of raw cranberries in one of these quart jars, and then you pour boiling water on top and put a little bit of sugar in there, and then you put it in your canner. That's the one way, the easy way to do it. And then the second way is how I started when I took all my berries and I boiled them down just to make them all pop open and get all that goodness out of them. So one thing to remember if you are going to use the boil your berries method is your water to berry ratio. Now I don't really measure mine, but I will link a recipe down here. If you get too much water, then your end product is going to be too watery. So you really just want your water just to cover the top of your berries. And then also when you're filling your jars, make sure you leave an inch headspace at the top just to make sure those seal properly. Now this video wasn't too long because it's just a really easy and quick thing to make. But now I'm going to show you how to use some of your cranberry juice. Not this, because it has to sit here for 4 weeks. But I'm going to use some cranberry juice and show you how you can use this type of a juice to make a cocktail or a mocktail if you would like. So before we can make our drinks, we're going to go ahead and make our simple syrup. And so I have some cranberries here, and I have a cup of organic cane sugar, and then I have 1.5 cups of water. So we're going to turn this on and we're going to let this simmer for about 15 or 20 minutes, and then we're going to strain it. So this has been simmering for about 15 minutes. It's starting to thicken up. We're going to go ahead and turn this off and strain this out. That way it can start cooling and we can make our drinks. Just going to smush these really well to get all the juice out of it. And you want to make sure you're using a fine mesh strainer too, so it catches all those little seeds. While our simple syrup is cooling, we're going to go ahead and get the rest of the stuff ready that we need. We're going to juice some lemons. And then we're going to take one of our lemons and just get some slices from. So I went on and put some cranberries on a skewer, and I have a sprig of rosemary, and so whenever our simple syrup gets cooled, we're ready to go. And so this is some cranberry juice that I had canned already, and so we're going to go ahead and open this. And then we're just going to take a couple tablespoons of that juice and put in a container so we'll be able to put the rim of our cup in it. And then I have a little bit of sugar to put on the plate. So the first one here we're going to make is just a cranberry whiskey sour. I do like a whiskey sour, and so we're just going to put a spin on it and make it with cranberries. We're going to start with 1.5 ounces of whiskey, or if you want it stronger, you can do it stronger. Okay, then we're going to go with 1 ounce of lemon juice. Then we're going to do 3 ounces of our cranberry juice. And then we're going to take just a splash of our cranberry simple syrup that we made. If you like a sweeter drink, you can put more in it. We're going to add some ice to our shaker cup. Shake it up. And we're just going to pour it over ice. Second one's going to be a cranberry gin and tonic. I like a gin and tonic as well, so we're doing some of my favorites tonight with just a cranberry twist. We're going to go ahead and start with our glass and get that ready. So I'm going to dip the rim of the glass into some cranberry juice, and then I have some sugar back here. I'm just going to dip it into the sugar. So we have a sugary rim around the edge, and then we're going to go ahead and put the ice in here. And then we're going to set this aside. So we're going to do 1.5 ounces of gin, more if you want it stronger. I am using Bombay, it's my favorite gin. I'm going to do 2 ounces of cranberry juice. And then we're going to do 1 ounce of lemon juice. And then we're going to do just this tiny splash of the cranberry syrup. Or if you want it sweet, you can add a lot. We're going to add some ice to our shaker cup. Put it in our shaker. And then to your cup here that you have your sugaring on, you're going to pour that in, but don't fill it all the way up. And then we're going to take some club soda or tonic water, whichever you'd like. I'm using club soda with no sugar in it. We're going to finish it off with our cranberries, sprig of rosemary. And then there is your cranberry gin and tonic. That one's really good. And so our mocktail, we're not going to be using the shaker cup. We're going to go ahead and put ice in our cup here. And then we're going to be adding some ginger ale or 7-Up, Sprite, something like that to it. Then we're going to add our cranberry juice and then some simple syrup. And then we're just going to give that a little bit of a stir. And another way to make the mocktail too, if you don't want to use ginger ale or 7-Up or anything like that, and I do this frequently, is I just mix some of the club soda and some of the lemon juice. I just used all my fresh lemons, but some of the lemon juice and put that in there, and then that's really good too. Well, that's gonna wrap it up for this video. That video was a lot of fun to make, and of course the drinks are always a lot of fun to make and drink as well. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you on the next video. Cheers, see you on the next one.